Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back once again to our English edition. I'm Daniel Cook, your host, Monday through Saturday, for the 6 o'clock English translated version of today's news stories. In today's news, a Renea police officer was unfortunately killed today during an operation in the town of Lazarat. 2 other police officers were injured in an armed conflict between a group of unidentified aggressors and the police forces. The Renea police officer Ibrahim Basha was killed in the shootout, which took place at around 9 o'clock this morning. The 2 men injured are Perlat Hamitai and Yetmir Isai. The Girocastra police have clarified that the Renea forces and the quick response forces were in the village of Lazarat with the intention of arresting an armed group which had fired at them in previous operations. The gunshots came from near the center of the village, and the police forces took notice of a white vehicle parked about 200 meters away without plates. The police managed to apprehend and arrest the driver of this vehicle and called for backup. At this time, there were shots fired from another location, and Ibrahim Basha was hit in the head. He unfortunately did not survive, passing away while being rushed to the hospital. Unfortunately, it is thought that the armed group opened fire from one of the houses nearby. The 2 police officers who were injured are no longer in danger of their lives. They were transported to the trauma hospital in Tirana. Some information has been released about Ibrahim Basha, the Renea police officer who lost his life this morning. It is learned that he joined the Renea forces only 1 year ago, but that he had a military background and served 7 years in Afghanistan. He was 31 years old. The U.S. Embassy has reacted to the serious event in Lazarat this morning in which a Renea police officer named Ibrahim Basha lost his life. The embassy expressed its deepest condolences to the family of the officer and expressed the belief that the law will bring the killers to justice. The U.S. Embassy condemned the violence against the law enforcement agencies, releasing the following message: "We offer our deepest condolences to the family of the police officer Ibrahim Basha, a veteran of the Albanian Special Forces, twice deployed with NATO forces in Afghanistan, who was killed in Lazarat today. Our thoughts are also with those officers who were wounded in the line of duty. The U.S. Embassy fully supports the Albanian law enforcement efforts to ensure the safety of the Albanian citizens and calls for the perpetrators of this horrible crime to be persecuted and punished to the fullest extent of the law. We strongly condemn any and all violence directed at law enforcement personnel." The EU delegation has also released a statement. The delegation of the European Union to Albania would like to express its sincere condolences to the family of the police officer that was killed, and our sympathy to the officers injured in this morning's operation against drug trafficking in Lazarat. We salute the courage of the Albanian police officers who are serving their country by fighting against drug trafficking, and we will continue to strongly support all those in Albania who work to enforce the rule of law. Prime Minister Rama has proclaimed a day of mourning after the serious event that took place in Lazarat today. The Prime Minister paid a personal visit to the 2 injured police officers at the trauma hospital. Just outside, Mr. Rama made this statement: "This is a day of mourning for the state police employees. I believe that every Albanian who esteems the courage and the work of the state police is mourning today. I express my deepest condolences to the family of the police officer who did not survive this barbarity. The doctors have assured me of the good condition of the 2 injured police officers. I want to emphasize that those who demand explanations from the police at a time when they are on the battlefield should really feel bad," said Prime Minister Rama. The Democratic Party chairman Lulzim Basha also visited the 2 injured men today and expressed his condolences to the family of the deceased officer. Basha said that the officers were conducting an operation in Lazarat without the appropriate vehicle. He also reacted against the statements of the Prime Minister. He said, "I want to express my condolences to the family and relatives of Ibrahim Basha. This event has deeply shocked us. Unfortunately, or fortunately, the 2 injured police officers have only received minor wounds, and their lives are not at risk. We have asked for the arrest of the authors of this crime and for transparency about what happened and what is happening in Lazarat. The group of police officers who were shot at by the criminals was attempting the operation with an inappropriate vehicle. A deep analysis needs to be made, and the attitude of the Prime Minister was unacceptable. It is a diabolical statement. There is nothing wrong with asking for transparency in the event, said Mr. Basha. The Central Election Commission has considered a request made by the Election Administration Commission in Malesi Madhe that the CEC take over the counting of 24 ballot boxes. The request came after an incident last night in Malesi Madhe in which a Socialist Party supporter struck the leader of the Democratic Party branch outside the vote counting center. The Central Election Commission has decided to send 2 representatives to Malesi Madhe to monitor the vote counting process. The CEC has also publicized the conclusions of the media monitoring group for the electoral campaigns. The media monitoring group confirms that 90% of the media in Albania respected the electoral code in their coverage of the electoral campaign. The commission only penalized 1 local television station, fining them 3.5 million lek. The vote counting process has already been finalized in 60 out of the 61 municipalities of the country. The Alliance for European Albania has won in 44 municipalities. The Alliance for Work and Dignity has won in 15 municipalities, and the Greek minority party Mega was the winner in Finish. The vote counting has been finalized in Shkodër, Tirana, and Durrës, and the ballot boxes of Malesi Madhe will be counted by the Central Election Commission. In Shkodër, the vote counting process was finalized just before midnight, and Voltana Ademi from the Alliance for Work and Dignity has been declared the winner. The candidate from the Alliance for European Albania, Keti Bajdari, congratulated the winner and expressed her readiness to help in the projects for the new municipality. In Berat, the winner is Petrit Sinai of the Alliance for the European Albania. Sinai promised quality service with a focus on key projects within the first 2 years. In Dibër, the winner is the candidate from the Alliance for European Albania, Shukri Jalili, who received 48.5% of the votes. The race was a very close one, as his opponent received 47.4%. In Roskovec, the winner is the candidate from the Alliance for European Albania, Majlinda Bufi. Her opponent complained that the democratic structures in the villages were sabotaged. The vote counting process continues for the membership of the city councils. Thanks so much for choosing Aura News as your source for English updates. Please join us again at the same time tomorrow for more translated news in English. Thanks, and have a great evening.